Hey, I'm so glad that you've made the decision to do Amplify this year and join us on this 21-day journey of discovery as we press into the Lord through prayer and fasting. As we start, I want to ask you this simple question. When you think of our nation, when you think of our city, when you think of the people around you, what do you see? Some of you might see the anxiety that is rife at the moment because of COVID and its effects, both in terms of health and the economy. Some of you might see opportunity in the midst of all the change that is unfolding around us. Others of you might see the social problems that strain the very fabric of our society. But have you ever stopped and wondered how God sees our nation? How God sees your neighborhood, your friends? You see, no matter what might be happening around us, 2,000 years ago, Jesus looked at the world. He looked at our nation. He looked at your neighborhood, and he saw potential. He saw hope. As he looked at the world, he was looking through the eyes of heaven. He was seeing the plans and purposes God had created you and I for. He saw the image of his Father in you and me and your friends, your colleagues, even your enemies. And he saw how our very identity was being undermined by the lies of the devil. He saw how sin was at work, undermining the plans God had for us, robbing us of the life that was tied up in that. And he said, Father, here I am, send me. In Hebrews 12, we read how Jesus endured the agony of the cross, the scorn and the rejection of the very people he'd come to save, simply because he wanted us to know our true worth, our true value. Now, 2,000 years later, it's our turn, not to go to the cross, but to go to the world as Jesus did, to go to those who have yet to hear the gospel, to those who are separated from Jesus, to make known the one who holds the power of life and death in his hands. As it was with Jesus, some will respond and some won't. But like Jesus, we cannot let that stop us. So over the next 21 days as we press into the Lord, my prayer is that you would allow him to do whatever needs to be done in your life to make you more like Jesus and therefore more willing to serve his plans and purposes. There is no plan B. You and I are the extension of what Jesus began 2,000 years ago. He is saying to you and I, as he said to his apostles and to the disciples, will you put me before you others? Will you continue the work that I began? Will you give up your comfort? Will you give up the plans that you'd made for your life and take on mine? Would you allow me to change the way that you see yourself, that it might change the way that you see the world? Over the next 21 days, God is going to challenge you. He's going to speak to you. He's going to pour himself out into you, not simply for your sake, but for the sake of your neighborhood, for the sake of your colleagues, for the sake of this world, so that through you, he might speak more loudly than they have ever heard before, that they might have an opportunity to experience his grace and his mercy at work in their lives, so they too can stand with you in glory. And so over the next 21 days, know that my heart is with you. My prayers are for you as you let God work in your life, so that through you and I, through his church, not just here in our city, but around the world, can bring about his plans and purposes in this generation, that others would have the opportunity while there is still time to say yes as you said yes, that they too will know what it means to be a friend of Jesus. So wherever the next 21 days takes you, God bless you, and I look forward to hearing your story.